What's reality? What is this thing where we are living in right now? Um, I'm gonna just like express my own perspective on this, but the perspective that most people have is that we are physical bodies in a physical universe and we are not related, like there's no connection between us. We're just like this body, like one independent system within one bigger system, and that's kind of how it works. It's like a 3D world, a physical world, and you move in it, and there's time and all that stuff. And so this is kind of the materialistic perspective on what life is. And what I think life is, and I also think that we can have different perspectives on this, and whatever perspective you choose, it actually proves to be true to you, because that's kind of how life will react to you. It depends on your perspective. What I think is there is no time, because there's only the present moment, and the future and the past, they don't exist. Everything that is not sensory input of the present moment is a thought. And when you think about it, a thought also is sensory input in the present moment. It's just like not from this outer world, but it's simulated in your mind. But nonetheless, a thought happens always in the present moment. So there's only the present moment, and there's either like physical input or like simulated input in your mind. And when you think about it, the past and the future kind of collapse into the present, because they're only thoughts in the present moment. And so when you think of your past, what you're doing is you're creating your past in your own mind. But your past doesn't exist, and your future doesn't exist either. And what comes with that, with the fact that there is no time, and for me it kind of makes sense that time doesn't exist. So I don't know if it's like a common thing, but a common thing people believe. If there's no time, for me there's no space either, because there are only like infinitely small, how would you call that, sheets of reality, and there's just like one at a time. And it's not possible to have space, because what is space? You can only experience space if you were at a certain point at time 1, and then you're at point B at time 2. But you need time 1 and time 2 to see the difference. Otherwise you have no way of like seeing whether you're like you need a referential for your position. So I don't want to make this complicated at all, but for me, when there's no time, there's no space. And so what I believe is we're just consciousness, so perception of stuff that's going on through senses. And so at every moment like this, boom, you perceive. And so what you are is the perceiver of everything that happens in the moment. And it's kind of like shifting through parallel realities, because this is something I've heard of, and it makes sense for me. So I don't know if all of this is really true. It's just like it helps me to view life like this, because it gives me a perspective that gives me more confidence. So for example, what I believe is there's the present moment, which I experience right now, which also is a perfect reflection of my beliefs, my thoughts, and my emotions, and my actions, my previous actions, which is strange because I say previous actions and I just said that there is no time. So are there previous actions? That's why it's a little bit paradox. But this reality is a reflection of my beliefs, my thoughts, and my emotions. And through my beliefs, my thoughts, and my emotions, I can move through other parallel realities. So through my thoughts, I can move through to a parallel reality, that is the one I want, basically. But what I also think is the most different a parallel reality you want to go to is different from your present life, the harder it gets to go there. So if you are in your room and you want to create a reality or shift to a reality where you feel better, it's not that different. Nothing moves. It's just like your internal emotion that will change. So for me, this is like, for example, really, I think this is easy, very probable. You just need to yourself change your emotion and you're shifting to that parallel reality. But I also think that it works, and I kind of noticed this in my life anyways, that it works with like our things that in a materialistic way of seeing things wouldn't be possible. So for example, I'm saying tomorrow at my job, I want the day to be really cool, real laid back, not a lot of clients, for example. Or I can think, I want to people to react positively to me and like meet interesting people through the day. And for me, like, this is a parallel reality that's not super far away from what I want. It's not me in a super villa driving a Lamborghini. It's me having this life right now with small positive differences. And what happens most of the time when I truly believe this is that thing really happens. Like things really happen. And it's kind of an interesting model because whatever the situation you are in, you can actually make it a little bit better. So let's say you are in a situation at your job right now and you don't like it. You can shift to a parallel reality, maybe where you're not like having the dream job, but that's for later if you want to like shift to that, but probably takes more time. But let's say you could, for example, if you believe this, it would be much more likely that your current situation just becomes a little bit better. For example, I don't know, you have some insights, you start having some ideas about stuff, there's someone you really like that will come, or you know, like those small things that really can make your day better. Because sometimes it's really, we think that the situation we are in cannot change at all because it's super delusional to think that we're gonna have, like, I agree, like if you think that your job is gonna disappear and you're gonna land on like a paradise island or whatever, this is probably not gonna happen because this is too different from your present experience. You don't even know how that feels to experience that. So I think this is only possible if we let it time. But for smaller things, I'm sure it's possible for everyone to experience the parallel reality we want. That's kind of the model I use for reality. Again, I'm not saying this is the truth. It's just like how I view life, and it makes my life so much better. And I really feel it has an like practical impact. I really see things happening that without that model I wouldn't have thought are possible. For example, let's say I'm at my work and it sucks, which it doesn't happen, but let's say it happens, and normally I would have said it sucks right now, so it means that it's gonna suck until the end of the day. But now that I believe in parallel realities, I'm like, no, the reality where it doesn't suck anymore and there's like small tweaks, it's not that different, it's not that far away. So if I feel good right now and I think about it and I make affirmations, I set intentions, it's going to happen. And it's completely possible because I'm creating my future. I'm like shifting to my future. So I really believe this. It makes sense to me. I'm quite open-minded when it comes to models of reality. So I'm probably lucky. But yeah, so this is how I view reality. This is a perspective. As odd as it might sound for some people, you can just see it as a model. Even tell yourself, this is complete bullshit. It's just a model, but let's try it out to see if it betters my life. And then you're just like, use it as a perspective, you know, as a thought experiment. It doesn't have to be true. So I really hope that this can help you and yeah, make your life better. Thanks for listening.